Lesson 3.3, Number Lines and Equivalents. The main focus in this lesson is I want you to be able to label number lines with fractions and mixed numbers, and that you use those number lines to explore the relationship between fifths and tenths. Your assessment check-in will be page 236 is what I'll be looking at. It's your math journal, page 74. And Math Masters, page 106. But first, let's start with our mental math and fluency. I want you to be able to write large numbers like these and read them aloud. How do you say that number? 56, where the comma is, you should be saying a word, 1,319. Again, before the comma, you read it as such, 89,908. And the last one, 60,007. Find the missing fractions on the number line. You're going to need Math Journal, page 73. So pause the taping now, the recording, and open your Math Journal up to page 73. Now that you're back, remember that number lines can represent whole numbers, fractions, and decimals. The whole, or unit, on a number line is the interval from 0 to 1 and is measured by length. To find fractions on a number line, the whole, or unit interval, is divided into parts of equal length. So look at problems 2 and 4. No fractions are given. I want you to think while you're doing those numbers, how did you figure out how to complete those number lines? Let's look at number 1 first, and I'm going to tell you a good trick. Whenever you're looking at between 0 and 1 or any other numbers, you need to know that the amount of sections that your line is broken up into is going to be your denominator. And then between 0 and the first section goes your numerator. So this is 1/4. So again, we know every denominator, here at first anyway, is going to be broken up into fourths. After the 0, this is the first second line, so this is 2/4, and this is the third line, 3/4. If we were going to make the whole, the unit, a fraction, the whole then would be 4/4, meaning you get all 4 out of 4. So complete journal, page 73. When you are finished with that, I want you to bring it up to me so that I can check it with you and show you anything that you have done incorrectly or reinforce what you've done correctly. Pause the recording now and please go do that page. So again, this is the page you just worked on that I should have just corrected. This is an activity looking at fractions on a number line. Look at the lines in problems 5 and 6 that you completed on the other page. The end point of the number line in problem 3 is 1. So could you name a fraction with the denominator 6 that would be equivalent to 1? Well, if 3 out of 3 equals 1, then 6 out of 6 would equal 1. The end point of the number line in problem 6 is 2. Can you name a fraction with a denominator 5 that is equivalent to 2? What you should do is the number on the top, the numerator, should be 10, and the bottom number should be 5. 10/5 means that you have 2 complete 5/5 pieces, 5/5. So here's that fraction number line that we were talking about. You need to cut along the dashes. You're going to need to come get that from me. It's going to be Math Masters, page 106. Pause the recording now and come get that, please. Once you get this cut out along the dash lines, you should be realizing that you're folding that section. When it says halves, you should be folding it on those lines. When it's talking about folding something into fifths, again, when you label them, you should have folded it into 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Complete that again. Pause this recording and do that with the rest of the page. So using equivalent fractions, a poster, may help you to solve the problem. So choose the true number statements. This is in your math journal, page 75. Here's one quick way to figure out if it's a true statement. Ask yourself, how does 5 become 10? Well, I can multiply it by 2 and get 10. Well, then I need to multiply the top number, the numerator, by the same number, by the 2 that I wrote down here. 1 times 2 is 2. That makes that one a true statement, so you would color that one in. Let's do one more, just to make sure. Let's choose this one. How again, and draw your lines, did 5 become 10? Well, I multiplied it by 2. If I multiply the top number by 2, will I get the number it says for the numerator? 2 times 4 is 8, not 9, so they are not equal. Finish this page and then bring it up to me and let me look at it to see if you understand what I just did there. Pause the tape now and finish this page. Again, this is what you just completed. It's your math journal, page 75. Here are a few of the answers. So Jackson said 2/3, 2/5, and 2/10 are equivalent fractions because they all name 2 equal parts of a number line with the interval from 0 to 1 defined as the whole. How could you explain to Jackson or show him that he is incorrect? The best thing for me to do is tell you, you should get out a ruler and you should make 3 straight lines. And make sure they're exactly the same length. And then for 10, take your ruler and measure. Where's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. So this is my halfway mark. 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10. I did this one, and I got to circle the 2 because that's where we're saying it's equivalent to it. The next one is 2/5. Well, that means I'm going to be cutting this line into 5. But I actually could cut it into 10. If I said 5 times 2 is 10, then 10 times 2 is 4. Well, that already tells me that this one, 2/5, is going to be here. Because if I cut it also into 10s, I know an equivalent fraction for 2/5 is going to be 4/10. So those two definitely are not. And on the next one, I'm cutting it into thirds. And again, if it's 2/3, I'm going to be past the halfway mark, approximately here. So none of them are equivalent. You can look in your SR page 252 for the Biz Buzz Buzz game, which we probably will not have time for this week, but we have reviewed it and practiced it in the past. Write each number using words. This is Math Journal, page 76. Please finish that page and then bring it up to me to double check to make sure I can see your understanding for all the skill areas that you are working on. And again, here's what that Math Journal page looks like, page 76. Pause the recording and finish that page and bring it up to me. The next thing you're going to do before you end this unit is Math Masters, page 110. You're probably going to need to come get that from me. Even though this shows arrows here, what you're going to be doing is you're going to fill in the blank with either an equal sign or not equals. Look, we're not doing greater than or less than. We're just doing it. Is it equal or is it not equal? When you finish this, please also bring that up to me. Pause the recording now and do Math Masters, page 110. There were some of the answers for Math Masters, page 110. And finding equivalent fractions using a pie graph. For this, you're going to need Math Masters, page 107 and 108 from me, the fraction circles. And I want you to use those fraction circles to find equivalent fractions. You're going to fill in the missing numerators, the number on top, to complete the equivalent fractions. So your first direction says cover half of the circle with force. Just half of it, not all of it. When you finish this page, bring it up to me again so that I can check your understanding. This is your last paper for this unit. Thank you. Bring it up to me though. Don't throw it away. I want to see it.